Hi, I'm Kim from Break Free Queen Tribute Show. Today I'm gonna tell you the story behind Another One Bites the Dust. Written by John Deacon, this song was featured on the album The Game in 1980. This was one of Queen's most unpredictable successes, something which happened often when John wrote a song. It was something completely different for Queen. John had a clear idea in his mind about how the song should sound, but the band had never played anything quite like it before. Even Reynold Mack, this album's producer, admits that funk wasn't exactly Queen's strong point. But John pushed until the track sounded just perfect, exactly as he envisioned it. There was a debate in the band about recording Another One Bites the Dust. Apparently Roger wasn't very fond of the idea. He wanted a big drum sound, which was the direction most bands were taking at the time, but this song needed a dry, minimalistic drum sound, and John wouldn't have it any other way. Brian wasn't particularly excited about the song, but he kept his vote neutral. It was Freddie that took the song to heart and did everything he could to make it sound just like John wanted. Freddie and John had a great friendship and respect for each other, and Freddie often defended John and his ideas. The production here was revolutionary for Queen. John uses a different bass, a Music Man Stingray, and we also used this bass for this song. It has a completely different sound from the Fender Precision, which is John's usual bass of choice. He even recorded the guitar part. Brian only added some effects here and there. That rhythmic guitar part is especially difficult to reproduce live, and it definitely borrows a lot from Nile Rodgers, co-founder of the band Chic. The whole song is clearly inspired by the American disco funk scene. The bass riff has become probably one of the most famous bass riffs in the history of music, and has been remixed and sampled by countless artists. Even the vocals are completely different to what Freddie was used to. In Brian's words, Freddie sung until his throat bled on Another One Bites the Dust. He was so into it, he wanted to make the song something special. This song is so difficult to sing live. It's probably one of the most difficult ones in our set list. Freddie himself often changed the part in his live versions. As you can hear in the Wembley concerts, Freddie abandons the higher pitch parts, where he is almost screaming in the recorded version, and replaces them with a powerful, almost lyrical voice. After the song was recorded, the band wasn't even sure what to do with it. It hardly made it in the album. It was a great success live. The Roadies were the first to beg the band to release the song as a single, but it took Michael Jackson himself to convince the band. It was at a gig in Los Angeles Forum. This was the band single that really conquered the USA. It was #1 in the US Billboard Hot 100 for 3 weeks. It was an instant worldwide hit. Thanks, John. And to think, it all started with just a few written down words about cowboys. Goodbye and see you next time.